Hello chess friends, this is Nazmijan. Today on our chess talk, we will cover a very nice game played by one of the best players ever lived, dear Kasparov. This game is one of the victories on his favorite weapon, King's Indian defense. And in this game, Kasparov's opponent is the player who is one of the strongest players on earth who couldn't achieve the World Championship title, Victor Korchnoi. Okay, let's go to the moves. Korchnoi is playing white and Kasparov is black. This game was played in Amsterdam tournament in the year of 1991. Korchnoi opens the game with the move knight f3 and game becomes the King's Indian defense after the move bishop g7. The move order chosen by white is designed to prevent black from entering the main lines of the Grunfeld defense, and if black wants to play the Grunfeld, which is also one of Kasparov's favorites, he should do it at this moment by playing the move d5 here. But Kasparov played bishop g7 and after e4, game becomes King's Indian. e5, castles, knight c6. And this is one of the most popular lines in the King's Indian defense, which is called Mar del Plata variation. The reason for the name of this variation is in the year of 1953, Grandmaster Svetozar Gligorich invented the black setup in this variation, which has been used to this day. He used his famous maneuver at Mar del Plata tournament against Najdorf and Elis Cases, and he won both of those games, and this variation has the name Mar del Plata since then. In order to illustrate the point, I will show you that game Najdorf Gligorich quickly. Najdorf also played the move knight e1, knight d7, black is planning to play f5 and white will respond f3, and Najdorf went for the move knight d3, f5, f3, f4. In this line, as you see, white wants to attack on the queen side and black will try to attack on king side by pushing his king side pawns. Bishop d2, knight f6, b4, g5, c5, h5. Black is about to push g4, so knight f2, preventing that, knight g6, and up to this point, it's mainly considered white is okay and a bit better here. But this game has changed the evolution about this variation. And the famous maneuver is about to start here. Rook f7. Very nice maneuver in order to play bishop f8 and rook g7, which will prepare the move g4, and black knight on g6 might go in this direction in order to support the g4 pawn push. So let's go a bit further. Bishop f8, a5, rook g7. As you see, the rook not only supports the g4 pawn push but also prevents white's counterplay by defending the 7th rank. h3, knight h8, a subtle maneuver. Black is about to play knight f7, knight h6 and support this g4 idea. Knight b5, white somehow prevents black's idea. If knight f7, then he can play this and maybe knight e6 now, and he's already much better here. So after Gligorich played the move g4 and went on to win a very nice game. So this is the story about Mar del Plata variation, the name of Mar del Plata. Okay, let's return to the game. Korchnoi also played the move knight e1, knight d7, and he goes for the main line with the move bishop e3 instead of Najdorf's knight d3 move. Bishop e3, f5, the same idea, supporting the center and creates a safe spot for the bishop. Bishop f2, g5, and a4. This is one of many ideas invented by Korchnoi on the King's Indian, and he used this line to beat many strong grandmasters. Knight g6. Most of the games went with the move a5, but Kasparov played the move knight g6. Korchnoi played the move knight d3, preparing c5 move, but he also played a5 move previously with success, but probably in order to avoid home preparation, he chose the move knight d3 here, knight f6. White begins his play on the queen side with c5, and black is threatening g4 here, which is to be prevented. h3, and the same idea, rook f7, trying to protect the 7th rank and prepare rook g7 in the future. And instead of normal continuations like rook c1, trying to open up the c file and try to create counterplay there, Korchnoi played the move c6, which is very interesting, I think. He wants to disturb this bishop, which is located on a strong diagonal. He wants to play c takes b7 and cause black lose some time there. Let's see the alternatives. B takes c6 is the first possibility. And in this case, after dc, bishop e6, and knight b4, white has ideas of putting one of his knights on d5 square and create some counterplay, which is fine. And another continuation apart from bc6 is bad move b6, because a5 is there and white is about to open up the a file and this bishop cannot move anywhere. Let's say rook b8 takes, and white can slowly prepare the invasion, let's say with the ideas of queen a4 and queen a7. He also starts this idea by first preparing knight f2 and trying to prevent black's idea of pushing g4. So this would not be very good for black. And what else? And let's say bishop h6 as in the game, c takes b7, bishop takes b7, knight b4. Now white has idea of playing knight c6 and create some counterplay. Of course, seeing this, Kasparov tries to slow down white's attack, and he plays the move a5 here. Probably the strongest continuation, as after cb, bishop b7, now b4 square is not available for the knight. b4, and black has time to retreat the bishop into that diagonal. B takes a5, and now bishop h6 with the idea of playing rook g7. As you see, bishop f8 is of no use because d6 square is already protected. So bishop h6 was played, which will create other threats in the future, as we shall see. Knight b4, the aforementioned idea, he wants to play knight c6, and black comes first, g4, knight c6, queen f8, f takes g4, h takes g4, and after h takes g4, we will see black's ideas is too strong to meet. Bishop g5, creating the possibility of playing on the h file. He wants to mate his opponent. So white tries to create safe haven for his king. Bishop f3, queen h6, rook e1. He wants to play in this fashion in order to get rid of mating threats. Very strong move, knight h4. He wants to remove the defender and let's say rook b1. This is a bad move, of course. We can take here. You cannot take with the queen because of bishop g4 move. So this is forced and the idea is now clear. For this reason, Korchnoi took on h4, bishop takes h4, not only threatening the rook, but also creating some possibilities of playing bishop g3. Of course, rook e2 is not available because g4 is hanging. You can take on g4. And it's also not possible to play rook f1 because this time white king is getting mated after bishop g3. For this reason, Korchnoi tried to force some disharmony in black's camp. He plays g5 move, queen takes g5, removing the queen from the h file, but this will not end white's troubles here. Rook e2, knight g4. When it comes attacking, Kasparov has no match in the world, so he's attacking beautifully, creating the threats of knight e3, and knight is very strongly placed here. Rook b1. White is seeking his own counterplay on the queen side. Bishop g3, creating the idea of mate via queen h4 move. And Korchnoi played the move queen d3, which is of course no help. And after queen h4, he resigned. A remarkable game on King's Indian. Of course, this is one of Kasparov's best performances at that time period. I hope you like this game and see you in the next video.